What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm your host, DJ Hamilton of DJ Sports Show. If you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. And listen on all your platforms tomorrow, make sure you leave a 5-star rating and share anybody you know who loves sports. We are here with another great guest on the show. He is a D1 soccer player for the Moyne College, and he's a former 3-time Rio Hondo League Defensive Player of the Year. My guy, Brady McNulty. How you doing, man?
Doing good. How are you, DJ?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. It's sunny. It's been, honestly, it doesn't feel like fall, bro, lately, sometimes.
No, not at all. Up here in Syracuse, it's been nice for being middle of November.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it doesn't even feel like winter. I'm just like, man, this global warming is truly, it's real, man.
Yeah.
I know you're in the middle of the soccer playoffs. How's that been so far?
Yeah, we just finished up our season last Thursday. Lost in the semifinals to FTU. Good side. Unfortunately, didn't get to play in that game.
Yeah.
Had a 5 yellow card accumulation, so had to sit that one out, so it hurt a little more, but ready for spring season, then going into the summer, and then just getting prepped to go back at it again next fall.
Hey, love to hear that. So let's get into your journey, man. I know, have you ever been interviewed before or anything like that?
Yeah, I actually got interviewed like a couple of weeks ago. Something short, though.
Yeah.
Nothing of your caliber. I know this is about to be deep. Yeah.
So tell me, you were born in San Gabriel, California, Los Angeles County. You know, the weather is hot. You know, you got that nice little beach, San Gabriel Beach on the coast of Long Island. Walk us through. What was it like growing up there, man?
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing too crazy. I mean, like right outside the city, so you can go to downtown whenever you want. But you know, it's going to take you a couple business days to get down there with the LA traffic. But yeah, really like in the perfect spot. Grew up like right near Pasadena, where Luis is from.
Yep.
So
our boy.
Perfect spot. You're right near the city, right near the beach. Literally got everything right in your hands. So couldn't ask for a better situation growing up, really.
What was it? I know people were skateboarding out there and doing things like that, right?
Yeah, skateboarding,
Bicycling,
going to the beach all the time.
Yeah.
Literally everything.
You never had to
you could ask for.
You never had to worry about winter.
No, not at all.
I know when you come to New York, you're gonna get hit. You're like, man, I didn't have to deal with this growing up. The snow and all that. Especially up at Syracuse. Oh, trust me, you're gonna get some, bro. I don't know if you got some already, but
yeah. No, fortunate enough not to experience the Syracuse winter yet, but definitely gonna be missing home once I have to.
So, you know, in San Gabriel, I looked it up. The predominant sports I saw were football and basketball. So what drew you to soccer? What age did you start playing soccer?
Yeah, so I grew up, played like every sport you can think of. Baseball was my primary sport, so played that for about 10 years, and then played basketball here and there, volleyball, ran cross country in high school, and then didn't play soccer until I want to say like 9 or 10 years old, so like third or fourth grade.
So you started
really late.
Yeah,
started a little late compared to like guys that I'm playing with who have been playing since they could walk. So that attraction to soccer really came from watching my little sister play. She's a couple of years younger than me. She started out with soccer, and saw how much she enjoyed it. You know, I played a little bit like at recess and stuff at school, PE, and I was like, you know what? I kind of want to try this out, so I joined a rec league, and then from there, you know, now we're here.
Yeah. Now you're playing D1.
Yeah.
So who was the first person to put a soccer ball into your hands?
Yeah, either my parents or my sister, really. You know, like I said, she started playing a lot earlier than me, and then like we would mess around in the backyard and stuff. So really, just like seeing how much she enjoyed it, enjoying it with her, and then I was like, why not just do this on my own too, you know? So that was really what started it all.
And who would you say has been the biggest influences and inspirations throughout your soccer career?
Yeah, definitely both of my parents. big influences on my soccer career. You know, they've supported my journey every step of the way. As much as my dad, big baseball guy, as much as he would want me to still be playing baseball right now, you know, the sport has slowly grown on him, and so I've had him and my mom's support every step of the way. Another person be my former club coach, my first club coach, Chris Braga, who I think we'll talk about a little bit. He he's definitely had one of the biggest influences on my career, I would say.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
because when you growing up, you know you need people who could push you through, who can get you through those tough
yeah,
times, and who are oh yeah, like when you get into something, you're not initially right into it. Someone has to like push you to do it. And I know you growing up, you know you start playing soccer late, so it's like oh I'm a little behind the other kids, so why should I start? I'm gonna be way behind them. I'm not gonna be as skilled, not gonna be as good. But then somehow you kept working, kept putting the work in, and you start developing a love for it, and now it's
yeah,
paid dividends. So that's what's up.
yeah,
And then the next question is just like when you're growing up, we have idols, people we grew up, we want to be like whether it's athletes or in acting or music. So who are some of the
yeah,
players you idolized growing up who you want to try to model your game after?
yeah. I mean, growing up, throughout my whole career, I've played every single position possible, including goalkeeper.
Wow. Oh
Um,
wow. I did not
yeah,
know
yeah, yeah, but
that.
my most idolized player would be Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Mm,
You know, former. He was like the one I started watching the sport because of him. I was like, damn, this guy's crazy, doing like karate kicks and shit to score, and I was like, oh my god, I want to be like that. So idolized him for as long as I can remember, and then some guys that I try to model my game after would be uh, him still, even as a center back. You know, I like to have that sort of like authenticity, uniqueness that he like embodies, and a little bit of that flair too. And then more defensive wise, you know, I try to model my game after the likes of like Sergio Ramos, Spain and Real Madrid legend, Thiago Silva, Brazilian legend. So those are just a few.
are those guys defenders like you?
Yeah, yeah, those are
Mhm.
two center backs. Both played for my favorite team, PSG. So all three of them actually. So it was yeah, model my game after my favorite players on my favorite team. So
That's what's up. I'm kind of shocked, even though you didn't say the GOAT, Messi. Most people consider him the GOAT
yeah, I mean,
because he's a
I
different position from you.
that's
Maybe
still
that's why.
what was that?
Because he's a different position from you.
Different?
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, because I know our good boy Luis, he's a big Messi guy.
Oh yeah, he never stops talking about him to me because he knows how much no matter what anyone thinks, I will always stand by my belief that Zlatan is the GOAT,
Oh,
no matter what, and he always gives me crap for it, but I don't care.
hey, stand your ground, man. That's what we love. That we love that.
Yeah,
So you mentioned you played other sports growing up, such as basketball, baseball, and all that. So how did the other sports help you on the soccer field? Because being a multi-sport athlete kind of breeds some of the greatest athletes we've ever seen. Like Michael Jordan, he played football growing up. He played baseball as
yeah,
well. Same with LeBron. So how did those other sports help you on the soccer field?
yeah. I think just playing every sport, you know, that's the advantage. Playing with a bunch of guys from different countries, you know, they grow up only playing like soccer and never really anything else, and hearing their experiences, comparing them to mine. You know, we kind of have an advantage in America, like growing up playing multiple sports. They don't get that same sort of like versatility, different types of athleticism you see. You know, like from sport to sport, there's different athletes, but you get a guy who is an athlete in both sports, but is also good at both. You know, it brings a different level to it, and then just different adversities too. Had some different injuries from those other sports, and so it's definitely like helped me push through different adversities that I faced in soccer, and then given me that athletic advantage as well.
Yeah, doing other sports helps with like, for example, track helps with your top end speed and probably endurance.
Yeah,
I know basketball is your stamina and all that because you're constantly moving. Baseball, I'm
Yeah,
sure it's like hand-eye coordination. You gotta be able to react to the ball coming at you fast. Different types of sports helps with that. So I know it definitely helps with you on the soccer field.
yeah, 100%.
So you attended Oak Avenue Intermediate Middle School. Describe your time there as a student and an athlete. Do you remember those days?
Yeah, honestly, like me and my best friend back home, who I went to school with, we talk about it from time to time that like middle school were probably like two of the best years, just like growing up, just because it was like a different time. You're between being a kid to being a teenager. Uh, hanging out with your friends every day,
Yeah.
playing soccer, going to class, and it's just like it's a new experience. Nothing like too crazy, but it's just a new experience, and that was like that's all I can think about is that like it gave me a chance to kind of grow a little before getting into high school, and then ultimately college. Like just set the foundation a little more. And then like soccer wise, it was just fun. Like it was competitive, but it wasn't anything too serious. And so I was just going out there and kicking the ball around with my boys who I grew up with and just having a good time. So
Yeah. Although you're just having a fun time, enjoy the game, wasn't serious yet. So yeah.
yeah,
So you played under Coach Chris Braga for club LAUFA during most of your middle school and part of your high school years from 2016 to 2018. What did you learn the most under Braga, and how did he help you on and off the field while preparing you for the high school level?
yeah. So like I mentioned before, he's probably one of the most influential people on my career. Um, that was the first like competitive team I played for. Just growing up. Once I started playing, then I was just in rec ball for a few years, and then it was like getting to the point where I was a little above that level,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted a new challenge. So I was like, let me go try out for this team. Uh, Tried out for the academy team, and I was one of few guys that made the final cuts, and he was a coach on on the team the level below that, and he saw me at the tryouts, and he just saw something in me. Came up to me after one of the tryout days, and he was like, like you're good. Obviously, you made the one of the final cuts, um, but you have a lot of raw talent, and I would like to do something with that rather than just jumping straight into this level where I might not succeed, and then that might just set me back and make me, unmotivated. So he took me, molded me as a player, molded me as a person. Um, Left behind some inspiring words that I still live by to this day. He would always tell us at training, if not you, then who? And so that always stuck with me. It was like, if I'm not going to do the job, someone else is, or maybe no one will. But if I don't do it for myself, then no one's going to pick up that slack for me. And I always live by that up till this day. So just playing under him, gaining that knowledge of the game that I didn't know from just playing rec ball. And then, ultimately he set me up for a great path of success playing competitive soccer.
I love that. If not you, then who? That's a great saying, man. That's definitely one of the best
Yeah.
we've ever had on here. If not that, that's not. I'm gonna remember that one too. I remember that one.
Yeah.
What were some of the workouts you guys did together? Like, what were some of the workouts he did to help make you a better player?
Yeah. Just a lot of the fundamentals. Because, I mean, you get that in rec ball,
Yeah.
dribbling through cones, passing, shooting. Um, but, he took the simple things and brought it to a higher standard.
Hmm.
And that really developed my game a lot quicker than I would have just, doing whatever. Um, and then kind of just like let me be my own player. I played a bunch of different positions for him. Started out as a keeper on that team just because like we didn't have one, and I was like,
Yeah.
screw it. I'm athletic enough. I'm good with my hands. I can do it. So played my first year for him as a keeper, then moved into like the midfield, striker, and so he kind of just let me be my own player while still like leading me in the right direction, and that just made me the player I am today. Very versatile. Yeah.
He'll see this if you send this to him. Yeah, he'll see this.
Yeah.
So you attended St.Francis in La Canada, California, your first 2 years of high school, where you played for the Golden Knights under Glenn Apples, and you also played with our good friend Luis Granados there. I know that
Yeah.
was some hell of a team. You played JV your freshman
Yeah.
year before moving up to varsity as a sophomore defender, playing along. And then, how did you and Luis meet, and what was it like being his teammate on the soccer field?
Yeah. So we actually met. He was a year older than me.
Yeah.
We actually met the year before his freshman year in high school at St. Francis. So I was going into 8th grade. He was going into 9th grade. Um, we went to like the summer soccer camp because my dad taught at St. Francis so for 20 years. So grew up, being around that environment. And then as I got older, signed me up for the soccer camp in the summer because I was getting more serious about it. And then ultimately I was going to end up there, hopefully, which I did. But that was the hope. And so met him at that soccer camp that summer, and then clicked right away. Just two goofy guys, meeting up, good soccer players, So we clicked right away, and then didn't see him for like a whole year since I was still in middle school. And then when I went to St. Francis the next year, that connection just clicked right away again. And from there, he's still a really good friend of mine today. See him all the time when I go back home for breaks and everything. And obviously, he's doing big things right now too, back to back
Yeah.
Skyline
Yeah,
championships. So
congratulated him on that. I'm like, man, look at him. I remember he was talking to my pod how that was his goal. They still haven't won it yet. I'm like, look, you came in my pod, and you won 2 back-to-back titles. I'm like, look at you,
yeah,
man. I'm like, I must have been good luck.
yeah.
I was like,
Hey,
I'm just
this
kidding,
means
bro.
I'm
And
gonna
then
win it next year.
I was like, I'm just kidding, bro. He was like, nah, you right though.
Yeah,
He's like, I came on your show and then I won back-to-back titles. I'm like, thank you. He's like, God bless you, my guy.
yeah.
Nah, yo, when I interviewed him, I was like, oh, this dude is tall. I was like, whoa. And I'm 6'3", but
Oh,
I felt short.
yeah.
Like, whoa, I'm not used to that, bro. He's like 6'5", 6'3".
No, yeah, no, no. He's I think he's 6'7". Yeah, like that.
Really?
He's
Oh,
just
man.
yeah, he's just freakishly tall.
Yeah.
If you've ever met his parents, like they're two of the nicest people ever, but they're so small. And then you got Luis
And the speed,
all the
like
way up
somehow,
here.
I don't
It's
know
just
where he got
funny to
these
see.
genes from.
Yeah, it's just funny to see.
But yeah, and then you guys, your sophomore year, so you guys went 10-9-4 your sophomore year in 2018-19, fourth in the Mission League. You lost to Newberry Park 1-0 that season. How tough was that loss for you and the teams? I think I remember Luis telling me about this when I interviewed him.
Yeah, that was. I can remember that game. That was super tough, just as a whole. Not even soccer wise, too. Well, both. Soccer wise and just in general. Like that year, I mean, Luis will probably say we had a pretty tight knit team that year,
Yeah.
and so many seniors that would be graduating. That was ultimately their last game with us, and it was heartbreaking. Like
Yeah.
I didn't think we deserved to lose that game. It was a tough fight the whole way through, 90 minutes, and a couple calls that could have went our way, but didn't, and then they get a goal near the end of the game in the last few minutes, and it's just yeah, you're just sitting there thinking, damn.
Yeah,
Like,
he told me some like crazy like whole sequence happened, series of events
yeah,
happened during that for that goal that won the game. I was like, wow. I was like, what?
yeah,
Some kid did a
it
ice
was a
cold. I
debatable. It
remember he
was a
told me. Oh,
yeah, it was just a crazy sequence of events, but yeah, you just sit there and you're thinking, damn, like that's it. But
yep.
couldn't have been more proud of that team that year. We played against some very tough teams. Started off like beating Palos Verdes in a tournament in the beginning of the season, like some really good teams that we played, and then for it to just come to that, it was disappointing, but it was a hint of a bright future for the team.
Yeah. What did you learn the most about yourself after that loss?
Uh Just like soccer wise, or just in general?
Oh, both.
Soccer wise, I mean, I just knew I had to hit the field, hit the weight room. Just get better for next season to prevent the same thing from happening. And then as a whole, just um, to cherish every moment because like we had so many seniors leaving, and I was close with all of them, and just to like not be able to have those moments with them anymore. Like you really cherish the ones that you had, and that's what I learned.
Yeah, that's the thing about life. You want to cherish the moment because you might never get the opportunity again. Ever get
Yeah,
savor the moment. Instead, live in the present.
yeah,
So eventually, you depart from St. Francis High School after 2 years to attend Temple City High School to play under Temple Watkins. What went into moving and your decision to move, and how did Coach Watkins differ from Apples?
yeah. So like I said, my dad worked at St. Francis, but then he ended up leaving the school, retiring, and so that kind of left me in a spot. I was like, well, I don't want to be there. Came in with him, figured I was gonna be leaving with him, and so ended up leaving, going back to my hometown school with all the guys that I grew up with from elementary and middle school, um, and playing under Shane. That was when I first transitioned from like an attacking player to a defender, to a center back, and so that was a huge difference between the two coaches. Is that both great coaches, both great guys, love both of them, but Coach Apples wanted me to stay in that attacking role, even though like my club team was transitioning me into that defensive role, and Shane embraced that. They needed a center back. I needed a place to come back to, and it was the perfect fit. From there, it was just it worked out perfectly. I ended up was a captain that year when I came back right away, and then led the team to a pretty successful year. I think it was our first time making the playoffs in like a decade,
Yeah, we're gonna get
and
into
so to like
boom. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
so
really
to
good that
like to
year.
be a catalyst
Yeah, you guys.
for all of that was a great feeling.
Yeah, nah, we're gonna get into that soon. But also, when you went to Temple City High School during this time period, you also played for Club FC Golden State of the
Yep.
ECNL, Elite Club National League, for Gus Bucio and Matt Bowden. What's the difference between club soccer and playing for your school? I know the competition has to be better.
Yeah, competition difference is definitely significant. ECNL was considered like the highest of the high, and we were playing in the Southwest Conference against some really good teams, like San Diego Surf, Beach FC, Real SoCal, like super high level teams that were competing for national championships every year, and so uh, that playing experience carried over and let me like thrive at the high school level. Um, but yeah, just two different experiences as a whole. Like a lot of people, I think, would agree, playing for your high school team is like playing for the national team. You know,
Mm,
this is where you grew up. This is where you've gone to school for 8, 9, 10 years, and so like you're playing for your town. Whereas the club, you're playing for the club and for yourself, and that's just a huge difference in itself. Um,
yeah, nah, that's crazy. Nah, I know it had to be a great experience. You probably were like, oh, it's like probably like AAU for basketball. Where you probably were looking at, man, I thought I was good, but now I still got some work to do. When you saw
yeah,
some of the players out there.
yeah,
So
yeah.
now,
No, we played.
oh no, what were you gonna say?
No, I was saying we played against some top teams, some top players who are now all thriving at the highest levels of college soccer. Some even pro now. So it's just
Oh wow.
to be able to play with and against those kinds of players was a great experience.
So you mentioned your time at Temple City and your first year, you guys did great, and you guys were dominant in 2019-20, 13-4 and 2 records, second in the Rio Hondo League. How did it feel to be the integral part of a dominant winning team and helping lead the team to the first playoffs? And also, what do you remember the most about that last season before COVID?
Yeah. Start with the successful season. I came back. Wasn't expecting a whole lot. Like St.Francis at the time, we were Division 1 in CIF, and then going to Temple City, we were Division 6 or five or six, one of the two. And so most people would have seen that as a huge drop off of level, um, but I fully embraced it. Ended up being a pretty similar level of competition, I would say. Like the best teams were comparable. Might have been on the lower end where it wasn't so much. So the Mission League definitely had an upper hand on just like the skill gap, but the same level of competition was there, and to go in, be an integral part of a successful season in my first year, like you said, like just an unreal feeling. Nobody expected too much from us, and then I come along, just boom, all the pieces fit together. It was guys that I grew up playing with in rec, in club, and it was just it was like playing with my brothers again. The chemistry was unreal, led to some nice plays that year, some great wins, and I'm going to cherish those moments. And then the last season before COVID, yeah, it was just didn't know that that would be the last sort of normal life, normal soccer before everything happened. But obviously, like now, everything's kind of sorted itself out. But yeah, just a weird feeling to look back on it and think like, dang, like shortly after that, the whole world like imploded on itself, and
Yep.
now, but we made a way through, and it's all good now.
And it
But
made us stronger. It made all of us stronger.
yeah,
Definitely did. So you guys, I lost to Polytechnic 2-0 in the playoffs that year, your junior year at Temple Watkins. What went wrong in that game after having such a nearly flawless season?
yeah, just we had a good mix of older and younger guys, and it showed. The younger guys weren't too experienced at that sort of like stake level. They had never been to the postseason because it'd been 10 years or so, whatever the number was. So those guys have never been in a postseason game. Um, Poly was a good school. Got to give them credit where it's due. Thought we could have won that game. Just a couple individual mistakes, and then cost you at that level. One or two moments in a game is the deciding factor. So fortunately, it wasn't our day, but definitely good learning experience. Everything you could take a positive out of. So
Exactly. So after such a heartbreaking loss, how did that loss motivate you more going into your senior season, and what workouts were you doing to prepare for your final year of high school?
yeah, just wanted to continue to make a name for myself. Obviously, I was getting junior year was the point where schools can start talking to you. You can start getting recruited by colleges for sports, and yeah, just trying to continue making a name for myself. I had a good first year there, um, and then wanted to build on that and have an even better year, and just put in extra work in the gym, on the field. Because of COVID, couldn't train as a team up until a certain point, so I was just doing a lot of workouts on my own, getting some ball work done in like the backyard, in the driveway, going for runs, doing all sorts of workouts just to keep myself at the same level that I was, so that when we were finally able to come back, I was going full force, no holdbacks, nothing like that. So
That's good. Yeah, it's good that you kept yourself in shape because some people let themselves go during the pandemic and they started getting complacent. So it's a good thing that
yeah,
you kept that motivation inside.
yeah,
So as a D1 athlete, I know it has to be hard to regulate everything. So, how do you like keep yourself balanced between everything, like between schoolwork, work, and all that stuff? How do you like balance everything?
Yeah, it's pretty tough, but I think this is my fourth year in school now, so I've grown like pretty accustomed to a routine that has gave me success for the past few years. Um, being in a tough major, doing nursing and psychology,
Oh wow.
so and then on top of Division 1 athletics, and then balancing the soccer, the school, and then balancing my relationship with my girlfriend, and then my family, not being able to see them all the time anymore because I'm on the other side of the country. It's just a lot of things, but I've gotten enough years of experience now that it's still tough sometimes, but I find a way around it. And I just got to prioritize some things more than others sometimes, and then everything finds a way to work itself out.
Yeah, you kind of found your master plan now, how to do everything.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
So in 2020, 21, your senior season, short one due to the pandemic, you guys go 6-4-1 at Temple Watkins. Overall, finished second in the Rio Hondo League again. You guys lose to the best team arguably in the area that year, Cornerstone Christian Counselors, 3-1. They were 22-5-2 that season. I was like, whoa, this team was dangerous.
yeah,
So the impact of COVID with no fans wearing masks make it harder to breathe? Because I know you guys probably on that field with masks and all that and so forth. Did it make that season harder to enjoy than your past ones?
yeah. It definitely made it harder to play the same. Yeah, like you said, you get that mask strapped to your face, and then you're running around sweating. All the sweat just builds up, and at some points, you're just breathing in and you're sucking the mask in with it, and it's just like, oh, this is not enjoyable at all. Um, but yeah, had to cherish the little moments. Like I said, gotta. I went into that COVID season with the mindset, like just take everything how it is, enjoy the things that shouldn't be enjoyable, like going in, playing with a mask. It was like, okay, well, we still get to play. Some people, other places in the world didn't get to come back and enjoy that luxury of playing the sport they love again for a longer time period. So it was like, yeah, you can complain about wearing a mask while you play, but you're still getting to play, still getting to do what you love. So I kind of, yeah, just went in with that mindset of enjoying the unenjoyables, and then tried to spread that to my team as well. And then obviously, ended my senior season not in a way you would want to, but we lost to a really good team, and I still, even though we lost that game 3-1, I still enjoyed every second of that game, of that 90 minutes, because I was still out on the field with my brothers, guys who I've grown up with and have spent 2 years with, but even longer before that, and got to finish my high school career off with those same guys that I started with. So couldn't have asked for anything more.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well put, well said. How would you say COVID impact you mentally, and did you pick up any new hobbies during that time? I know you talked about working out, but did you pick up any new skills or anything like that? Because I know people had a lot of downtime during that time.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
no, not really. To be honest, I sounds boring. No, not really. But just really during that time, I was either played a lot of video games. Of course,
Gamer.
many of us did, but spent the majority of my time just continuing to hone my craft and get better, even when it seemed like there was no point to it, because I knew ultimately, that it was going to pay off further down the line, and I think it has.
Oh no, it definitely has. So before we get into your high school accolades, name who are the best high school players you played with and against, either and this means club or on your high school teams. I mean, you have a wide range of people to choose from. Played with and then against.
Yeah, got to put Luis in there.
Yeah, I was about to say,
He's
yeah, you gotta put him and with.
gonna
Yep.
say, nah, he's definitely gonna watch this, and I'm not gonna mention his name. But no, Luis is up there for sure. I have to say. guy who's not playing anymore, at least competitively. Nathan Tran played club and high school with him. That's my boy. Unreal player. Sad that he didn't continue his career, but it is what it is. Move on to better things. Paul Jing, he was my other keeper at my other high school at Temple City, and now had he had a few year gap where he was bouncing around from team to team, and now he found himself in a good situation at UC Irvine. Made his debut this season for them, and then had a few clean sheets. Had a really good season for the time that he was given. Who else can I think of? Played against a lot of unreal players. Can't name them all, but guys like Keegan Waldwin Bent played for Crespi, so I played against him at St.Francis and then played against him in club when he was with Real SoCal. And then he just won the Big West Championship with UC Davis a couple days ago, so big shout out to him. Great player, great guy all around. And yeah, just a bunch of other people that I wouldn't be able to name because we'd be here for way too long. But
You definitely played against some elite talent for sure, for sure. So before we
yeah,
get into your college years, go through your high school accolades. Three-time Rio Hondo League first team all conference honoree, 2021 ECNL first team all Southwest Conference selection, two-time Temple City High School MVP. I see you, KD.
yeah,
Like you said, you transfer there, you leave your old team, you go to your new team, they drop you in, like you fit in like it's nothing. You guys end up winning mad games. I'm like, oh, I gotta call you
yeah,
KD over here. I'm a basketball guy, so hey, you drop, you fit anywhere. And you won 3 consecutive Rio Hondo League Defensive Players of the Year from 2019 to 2021. Like
yeah.
when you hit 3 straight, that's saying something. Like what was going through your mind, like when you won 3 straight? Like how did that make you feel?
Yeah, I think I was like either the first or the second guy in the school's history to win that award. Behind, I think the other guy who would have won it would have been Jimmy Conrad, Temple City legend, UCLA, San Diego State, and then U.S. men's national team legend as well. So if I wasn't the first, he was the first, and I was the second. But that's a great person to come up second behind,
Mm.
I would have to say. Um, but yeah, being that I had just like converted to being a defender that year, that first year in 2019, and then to go on and be
Yeah,
named the best defender in the whole league, for 3 years, it was a surreal feeling. I was just like, yeah, I knew what I could do, and I went out there, showed them, and then I got rewarded for it. And it's just good to finally like get recognition after all those tough years of putting in the work behind the scenes where nobody knew what you were doing, and then boom, then it shows up on that paper, defensive player of the year, and you can't ask for anything else.
exactly. I know you had to hold that three-peat sign like Kobe.
Yeah,
Three-peat after he won his third consecutive title in 2002. I know you have to do the same thing.
yeah,
Like they want to talk stuff. Oh, be like 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Gotta count the fingers on them. So now, great high school career. It's now time to choose a college. What colleges were you thinking at the time, and who was recruiting you?
Yeah. So that was my senior year, was like when all of COVID was
Yeah,
in its height, and so I was getting recruited by few good D3 schools, few really good D2 schools, um, and then like not San Diego State, Sacramento State, and Cal State Northridge. But those two coaches, that's what, like my goal was to go D1. Like that was the goal, to go Division 1, and then to play for like a Big West team would have been huge. Back in California still, playing for arguably the best conference on the West Coast, and so one of those two schools would have been like 1 and 2. But with COVID and then the NCAA giving everyone an extra year, those coaches basically offered me like no guarantee other than a roster spot. and because they were going to have like 35, 40 guys coming back for the next year. And I was like, I knew I could go in and compete right away, but
Yeah.
With the politics in sports, you don't want to put that risk
Yeah.
of, going in and then they play the guys who they knew from beforehand. And it's just so decided to still go to Cal State Northridge that year, take a year off from, well, not take a year off, but go just get classes done, get some credits for college, and then played an extra year of ECNL. But I ended up going to a different team, Beach FC, who was competing for a playoff spot at the time, and then ultimately made the playoffs. So it was a good decision on my part. Went in, got to play with some really good players, play at the highest level still, while getting college credits done, getting ahead of the curve. And then ultimately that led to me getting looked at um, by more schools because, I was a little older, a little more experienced playing at that high level still. And so, they were looking at that kind of guy.
Yeah. So you mentioned playing at Cal State. So what did you learn the most about your self during that 1 year at Cal State as you were preparing to eventually transfer to Niagara University where you played D1 under head coach Bill Boyle? Well, what was that 1 year
Yeah.
like at Cal
Uh,
State?
yeah, it was a really good year, honestly, all things considered. Obviously, I would have wanted to go straight into college soccer out of high school and play at the highest level possible. Um, but, took that year at the start really, really hard on myself because I was seeing other guys, go to bigger schools and go play in their first year. And I was like, I know that should be me right now. And I was not in a very good place at the time, but was blessed enough to keep playing ECNL. Ended up meeting like a couple people, really good friends to this day, just in a regular class. And, I still talk to them all the time. And then was blessed enough to join the club soccer team just to have something else to do. I was on campus, like 45 minutes from home. I was commuting, so I was like, let me just find something else to do while I spend like my day there. And again, a couple other guys on that team who I still like really good friends to this day. And that gave me that experience playing with the club team there, not as competitive as the Division 1 level would have been. Um, but it showed me the fun side of the game again because I was just stressed about being the best, getting to that next level, and then having these guys who I was just going out and kicking a ball with again, just like in middle school. It brought back that same feeling, like reminding me just how simple the game is, how much fun I enjoyed, how much fun I had, and how much I enjoyed playing the game with those guys. So couldn't have asked for a better experience because they gave me that reassurance that I needed because they all knew eventually I was going to go off. I was going to leave them after that first year, but
Yeah.
they still treated me like a brother. They supported me the whole way through, and like I said, I still talk to a bunch of them to this day. And then getting recruited by Niagara, wouldn't have been possible without my boy Peric. He saw me on this random day. I wasn't even supposed to be playing. I was playing for my club, the club's B team, because my coach texted me. He was like, "Hey, the B team needs some guys to come help. They're not gonna have enough guys, so go if you can." Because we didn't have a game that day, and I was like, "Do I really want to?" And then I ended up. I was like, "Okay, I'll go. Let's go. Why not play a game for fun?" Low stakes because it wasn't my actual team, but I went, balled out, and then this guy walks up to me after the game and was like, "Oh, what year are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm already a freshman in college, but I'm still playing." He's like, "Oh, shoot, like, do you want to play college soccer?" And I was like, 100%. He was like, "How does the East Coast sound?" I was like, the East Coast sounds pretty nice. I got family in Long Island and Maryland, and I was like, yeah, I would love to go to the East Coast to play. And so from there, within the next week, he got me connected to a bunch of good programs on the East Coast, and then ultimately I went with Niagara. My dad's alma mater, my uncle, my aunt, all three went there, so it was a place where I had family nearby and who went there, and then I had a place to play. Coach who finally believed in me enough to bring me on, and I was like, that's the right choice for me.
No, that's great, man. Hey, look at that little decision. If you didn't decide to go on the field that day, like, oh, I don't know if I want to play. Imagine you said no, I didn't. You didn't go. Look, your life could be
Yeah,
totally different right now. Hey, it's the little
100%.
things, the little things in life, man. He's like, oh man,
Yeah,
I know you're thinking your younger self, like, man, I'm so glad I got up, got my ass up and said, oh, let me go to the field and let me go support let me get the B team of unique player and meet myself. Let's go play out there. You don't know who you're
100%.
watching, and look what happened.
Yeah,
Exactly, man. So I'm happy that happened for you, man.
thank you.
So what was it like playing under Coach Boyle during your time at Niagara?
Yeah, went in with big hopes, big aspirations. I was finally getting my shot that I knew I deserved, and then went in first week of preseason. I was everything, flying colors. Was top few in the. I think I was either second or third in our fitness tests, and then I was just balling out in training, and I was like, yeah, I'm coming here to take a spot, to show what I can do. And then some miscellaneous things go on behind the scenes, kind of stop me from playing. They were looking for missing transcripts or whatever, and I was like, really, I'm getting set back again after I finally put myself past all the setbacks beforehand. Finally got to a spot, and then another big setback, and I was like, damn, like what's going on here? So then ultimately didn't really play that much my first year. Still gained a lot of experience. Played with some really good players that year. Who a couple are going. They're playing pro now, and so to be at that same level as them, not get to show it, but I was there at that same level, and then I've taken that further. Then the next year, go on, really show what I can do again. Some other circumstances arise, and I don't play as much as I thought I should have, but still get a lot more minutes than the year before. And then, just proved a lot more that year, but knew I had even more to prove. And then ultimately, I decided I just needed a change of scenery again. It was a good 2 years. Met my girlfriend there, who, still together strong to this day. 2 years now. Met some of my best friends. My old roommate Alberto, my boy Jamie. Just a lot of great guys. Campus super nice. School, all the professors, classmates. Everything was going well except for the soccer, and
Yeah.
I was like, it should be going well, but it wasn't for whatever reason. And so I was like, change of scenery wouldn't hurt again because I had done it before and it had helped. So I was like, let me do it again. So now I'm here, entered the portal, and then now I ended up at Lemoyne, not too far down the road from Niagara, but in a much better position, I think, now.
I know when you're at Niagara as a student and athlete, I know your life, you're probably like, I'm enjoying everything else, but soccer wise, I'm not really having that much
Yeah,
fun. Like, and that's like that's like your passion, that's your life. Like you're consumed by it, and you're like, this ain't going well. You're like, all right. And you did take a big risk going from the West Coast to the East Coast. That across the country, that's some especially at a young age, you're leaving your family
yeah,
and then you're going all the way across the country to pursue your dreams and your career. So Yeah, I definitely know how hard that is. And then now you're going to Lemoyne playing D1 soccer, finally getting your opportunity, fresh new start, playing for the Dolphins, and you're playing under Callum Donnelly. So what's it like playing for him?
Yeah, just a completely different experience.
You laughed when you said that.
No, I just I'm I'm just laughing thinking about the fact now that like I've come this far and like everything is finally like the pieces are going together the way they should have been. But yeah, when I was in the portal talking to a bunch of different schools, um, but you know, Cal was there from the very start. You know, like right when I entered the portal, he was hitting up my guy Peric, asking him about me, like if he could get me over here, things like that. And then just with the conversations that I had with him in the portal, it was all the things you want to hear as a player who's looking for a new place to call home. Um, no guarantees, which I mean, there's never a guarantee at this level. You know, you got to earn
Yeah.
everything. Um, but he believed that like I would come in and I would fit and I would make an impact right away, and wanted to give me an opportunity to do so. And that's all I needed. All I needed was an opportunity to go prove myself like I had before. Um, come here, preseason starts, balling out straight from the go. And then, from there, started my first game in our first exhibition against Colgate, played really well. Started the next game against Siena, played really well. Started the next game against Robert Morris, and then from there goes on. Got hurt against
Yeah,
Syracuse,
I remember you
out
told me
for a
your
few
face.
games.
Your face was like, oh, I was like, oh no.
Yeah,
We had
yeah.
to postpone the
Yeah,
interview for a while.
so yeah, got hurt in that game, out for a few, came back, didn't start my first game back, but came in, made another impact, and then got my spot back. Started, and then ended the rest of the season. So definitely, he didn't. He promised me one thing, and that was an opportunity. I took the opportunity and went with it, and I couldn't be more grateful for that opportunity that he gave me.
Yeah, and you guys were pretty good this season. How did this season bring back the joy for you in soccer? I know this is probably your winningest season since you were back in like high school, like junior year of high school. So how
Yeah,
does playing this season and actually winning games bring back the joy for you?
yeah. Just being able to go out there and have the ability to prove what I've been able to do for the longest time, and having a coaching staff and a team that believes in me, um, as much as I believe in myself. Because at Niagara, I had the guys' support, didn't really have the coach's support, and that's completely fine. They got to make the best decisions for their team, for the team's success, and you just gotta at this level, you gotta be professional, gotta respect the decisions. Come here, got the team support, got the coach's support, and then that gives me all the confidence in the world to do what I know I can do best. And then obviously, like our first real game of the season, we play against Canisius, who was a big rival of mine in my last 2 years at Niagara. Still wanted nothing more than to beat them in our home opener, and I go out and I score the game winner. It was
Well,
an unreal feeling.
that's like a
It was like it was just a full circle moment. It
yeah.
was like I wanted nothing more than to just have a good game and win against the team who I hated the most out of any team in the country, and I go out and I get the game winner, and so it was just unreal. And then from there, we dropped a tough one to Binghamton. They were a good team this year, and then we go and get a win at number 7 Syracuse, crosstown rival, and that was just huge. And from there, like, yeah, just having, but going back onto the coaching staff and the team and just all the pieces fitting together again, um, it just made me like wanna be there. In the past, I wanted to go, I wanted to put the work in. I was dreading going to training because I was like, what am I doing this for if I'm not going to get a shot, But here, it brought back that feeling of, yeah, I can't wait to go train right now. in the scorching heat in the end of August in Syracuse. Like not very good weather conditions.
Yeah.
A lot of excuses why you wouldn't want to be doing it, but I've wanted nothing more than to do it because I finally had that motivation back.
I love hearing this. I can feel the passion spewing through you when you speak. I love that, man. And I know how you feel, man, because sometimes when I'm doing this stuff, my podcast or website, I'm just like, or I'm editing a video or something, I'm just like, man, why am I still doing this? Like, I've been applying to jobs. My resume is good. I've done a lot of stuff. Like, how come I don't get an opportunity, a good full time opportunity that's worth it? Like I'm still trying for
Yeah,
years. I'm like, is it really all worth it? All this pain, all this money I've invested in myself, going to networking events, promoting interviews, paying for radio stations, all this stuff. Like, is it really worth it? But when people tell me I've inspired them through the years, thank you so much. The families tell me they love the interviews, giving their daughter or son a chance to tell their story, celebrate their accomplishments and all that. It makes me like feel really good. And then, just continuing trying to push because if I would have gave up, I wouldn't have accomplished some of the things I've done or met some of the people I've met. And I've met some great lifelong friends through this. Like, I started this in my car.
yeah,
I was 19 on my phone, bro. Like, I had no clue what I was doing. It was June
yeah,
2020. I'm 19 before I turned 20. I'm just like, I want to create my own show because I want to start getting some reps of what I want to do, which is to be either a sports journalist, sports analyst, something in sports. So, yeah, that's the goal. And I said, all right, I don't know what I'm doing yet, but let's give it a shot. And yeah, look, I'm really proud of how far that kid's come, man. I really am. That 19-year-old DJ, I'm patting him on the back. I'm gonna tell him that, hey, I know it's gonna be some dark days. I'm gonna tell you that it's gonna be some great days too, but keep pushing, man.
yeah.
You want no regrets, and that's why I always said.
Gotta keep pushing. Yeah, 100%.
So when you said that, that kind of like made me feel away because I definitely relate, man. Because I still have the doubts.
Yeah,
You have those days you're doubting, like, oh, you put on the work, all this work in, but it's like and you're trying to look ahead. You're like, is it going to pay off? Like sometimes you wish you could talk to your older self, like ask yourself, okay, am I doing something wrong? Like what do I do? Like what am I
yeah,
doing? Like what do I need to do now so I could reach my ultimate goal? But you just got to keep pushing, man. You can't dwell on the past, and you can't keep worrying about the future. You got to live in the present, control what you can control.
100%. Can't take the highs too high and can't take the lows
Yeah,
too low. So,
yeah.
just gotta take everything with a grain of salt and keep your head down, do what you have to do. So,
Yeah, be even killed. You know how they teach us in back in the day science class homeostasis, maintain balance.
homeostasis, yeah.
I'm
Gotta
sure you
stay
haven't heard that word
balanced.
in a long time.
Yeah,
Oh no, you were a nursing major. You probably have heard it. You probably have heard it. You're a nursing major.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah. I
yeah,
haven't heard that word in a long time. I be saying that I'm like, I
yeah,
haven't heard that since like middle school or high school, early high
yeah,
school. I don't hear that anymore. But yeah, it's what you got to do. That's the same thing. That's why I try to apply that to life too. So yeah.
yeah.
So you mentioned you lost to FDU in the playoffs. I know this was your first year with Lemoyne. I know you still have another year left and you got another season. So I know that was a tough loss, but what did you take away from that loss, and how are you going to use that as motivation going forward to continue getting better?
Yeah, I mean, we had an unreal season. Even with losing in the semifinals, obviously we had the aspirations to go and win an NEC championship. And I fully believe that we could have, and fully believe that we still can next year, and we're going to.
Hey,
Well, we're going to look back on this podcast, and this time next year, we're going to win the NEC championship. I'm going to have a ring. So,
hey,
but yeah, I
affirmations,
mean,
man,
going through,
manifest. Yes, we love it. You're doing the same thing Luis did when he came online. Look what happened. Hopefully, I hope it happens for
I
you
got the
too.
I got the DJ I got the DJ Sports Show luck now on my side. So,
Hey, I wish the best of luck for you, man. Of course, I want to see you win, man. I want to see you go out with that championship ring, man.
yeah, yes, sir. But yeah, I mean, we had such a good season, even with the way that it ended. I mean, like last year was the school's first year in Division One. They went 2-8-7.
Yeah,
So we blew expectations out of the water for what's to come from this program, and I think we can do even more than that. We're going to exceed the expectations next year even more. Um, but yeah, I mean, had a younger team, some older guys who we're going to really miss next year, who helped lead the way. And but yeah, a lot of younger guys, just a little inexperienced when it came down to the tough moments,
yeah,
and just was a good learning experience all around. We're gonna know what to expect next year.
Yep.
You know, when the times get tough, what you got to do, because we had a little stretch at the end where it was like player. So started. We're in a title game with Mercyhurst. Guy gets sent off 3 minutes in, and then we're kind of just like, what do we do?
Yeah.
But played that game really tough. Unfortunately, came out with a 2-0 loss towards the end of the game. Just broke us down playing with 10 men for 87 minutes. You know, like
Yeah.
we put our heart into that, but then bounce back, get a win the next game, but then have a key player get his 5th yellow card. And so then he has to sit out the next game. And we play another really important match against a good St.Francis side. And, you know, don't have that key player up top, get a guy sent off before halftime, just everything blows up. Then the next game, we're missing that key player who got sent off. And then I get a 5th yellow, so I have to sit out the next game against FDU in the semifinals. And it's just like, come down to that tough stretch, everything kind of just built up on itself. And no, it's not the team's fault, but we're going to learn from that, take it on to next year, and know what to do in those situations, you know?
Great. Well said. I like that. I love the confidence, man. That's what you got to do. Affirmations, manifest it. Manifest it. You will win an NEC championship next year.
We will. We will.
Guaranteed. Like Charles Barkley would say, I guarantee. Yeah, right. Oh man, I love them. I love them. I don't know if you watch Inside the NBA basketball, but I love them. Man.
Yeah.
So you played for many great coaches throughout your career. I'm from club to all that. So who's your favorite of all, if you have one, and if so, why? You played through with a lot of great coaches.
Yeah, I hope none of them see this because someone's gonna be upset with me with this answer. But no, definitely. Cal. Only been with him for 1 season so far, but and only a few months really because our season was right now. But he's definitely up there for sure. You know, reinstilled that faith back into me that I needed, and then allowed me to be the player that I knew I could have been. You know, I had a really good season this year, 3 goals with 2 game winners and like 6 clean sheets as my first year with the team. So couldn't have asked for a better coaching environment, better playing environment, and you know he's up there for sure. But I think everything goes back to Chris Braga, and I really hope he doesn't watch this because this is just going to boost his ego even more. But no, to this day I still talk to him all the time, and he's just been such a big influence in my life, in my playing career, and you know, like I wouldn't be the player I am today without him. And so he's got to be number one, undisputed, until I'm a retired old head and just sitting on the couch reminiscing. Like he'll always be the name that comes up. So
Shout out to Chris Braga, man, legend. So you ready for some quick hitters now before we close it off?
Oh yeah, hit me with him.
All right, pivot moment of your life, good or bad, that has brought you on this journey you have been on and are going. What was a change moment of your life, good or bad, that brought you to where you are today?
I'd have to say playing playing that one game that I just decided to do on a spur of the moment decision. Just without that, I wouldn't have had that opportunity. I would have been seen, and I wouldn't have gone to Niagara. And despite the tough time at Niagara, it was still I wouldn't have done it any differently. It still provided me with some of the best relationships that I have to this day, and then set me up to come to an even better place at Lemoyne. So definitely most monumental moment, I would say.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you don't say that moment, I don't know what else. I'm like, that was a change of moment.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, if he doesn't say that, what else he's gonna say?
Yeah.
What makes a great athlete to you?
Oh my gosh. Great athlete to me, just someone who is very coachable, someone who's willing to go the extra mile, no matter the circumstance, winning or losing, tide rolling in their favor or not. They're always willing to go that extra mile, always willing to make changes for the team's best interest. Yeah, just nothing like no real physical attribute makes a great athlete, I would say, other than like the obvious athleticism
Yeah.
aspect to it. But yeah, it's those little things. It's that mental game
Yep.
that makes a great athlete.
Definitely. What's your pre-game and game day routine like? What's that like?
Pre-game, game day routine. Depending on the time of the game. If it's a later game, usually wake up sort of mid-morning. Uh, don't I usually eat like a pretty big breakfast and then kind of just chill the rest of the day. Snack on a little things here and there, and then about an hour and a half before game time, that's when I start like getting locked in fully. But like throughout the whole day, I'm kind of just playing clips in my head of like what I want to happen during the game. Like I envision myself getting up on a corner kick and scoring,
Yeah.
or making a nice tackle or something, and I'm just playing those like little clips through my head the whole day, and then when it gets to game, like an hour and a half before, I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm fully focused, not thinking about anything
Yeah.
at all. Yeah,
You're in that zone.
yeah, yeah.
What's your favorite pre-game meal? Like, what's your favorite thing to eat for a game?
Pre-game meal.
Anything that comes to mind? Pasta, anything
Yeah.
like that?
Well, yeah, I'll usually have like some pasta before the night before. A lot of carbs, got a carb load,
Yeah.
and then day of usually just have like an omelet or something, uh, and then some snacks here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't really eat too much before the game, but after then
Yeah.
I eat everything in sight. Like,
Yep. You don't want to get no cramps while you're playing, man.
no, no,
Yeah, that's the worst. That is the worst. I hope you stay hydrated too. Drink that water.
no, 100%,
Yeah.
100%.
What keeps you motivated? What's your why?
uh, my wife, my family, for sure. All the hours that they've put in driving me to fields to play, paying for tickets to go to a game, or for like a trip to a game or a tournament or whatever, and then like flying me out on my visits to different schools, and it's just like they've put in so much of their time and effort for me to succeed and get to where I'm at, and want nothing more than to make them proud, but also just pay them back for everything they've done. And then yeah, I would say like my closest friends and my girlfriend as well, like same thing with them, just more on the support side. Like uh they've been with me every step of the way. My best friend Phil and Bryson, they've had my back. They've believed in me through all the hard times. Same thing with my girlfriend Madeline. Like she was with me at that hard time, those hard 2 years at Niagara where things just weren't going my way when I really wish they were, and she pushed me to go on to bigger, better things. And now I'm here at Lemoyne, and I'm hoping I'm making them all proud with what I've done this season.
That's lovely, man. Love hearing that. Name your top 5 soccer players of all time. You know I had to ask you this.
My favorite, or who I think is the best?
Uh you can do both.
Yeah, okay. My favorite, my favorite 5 players of all time. Zlatan's going to be up there.
Yeah.
He's number one,
Yep.
undisputed,
So yep.
undisputed. And then I would say Kylian Mbappe is up there.
Yeah, he's filthy.
So good.
Filthy.
Paulo Dybala, Argentinian player from currently at Roma now, but back when he was at Juventus, oh my gosh, unreal specimen to watch. Thiago Silva, center back, and then myself. I'm gonna put me up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like
I'm
confidence.
yeah. I'll put myself in my top 5.
What about your greatest
Favorite.
favorite? Oh,
Greatest?
yeah.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Top 5 favorite. I'm up there. Top 5 greatest. Yeah, Luis won't let me hear the end of this, but Messi's up there. Has to be. Ronaldo.
Yeah. You're like, oh, okay, Louise, I'll put him up.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I'll put him up there. Yeah. But can't have Messi without Ronaldo, so they're both up there.
Yeah,
And then Brazilian Ronaldo, R9. He's up there in the top 5 for sure. And then oh, you really put me on the spot here. Oh my gosh. Ruud Gullit, Netherlands legend, and then oh my gosh, John Luigi Buffon,
oh,
greatest goalkeeper of all time. He's got to be up there.
okay, nice list. I like both of the lists. Okay, I like both of them.
Yeah.
And, you had to spice it up with a favorite right here yourself. I was like, oh, okay. What's your favorite hobbies outside soccer?
Outside soccer, gaming. Obviously, haven't done too much.
Yeah.
Recently though. Yeah, been too engulfed with the season, but when I get the chance, I like to game a little, and then hiking. Really, I enjoy hiking. Just going on nice nature walks, embracing what's always there, but we take for granted sometimes.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I mean just your normal stuff after that, hanging out with friends and family, just spending quality time. Nothing else too crazy.
Oh, that's cool. What about your favorite music artist of all time? Name like your top 5.
Top 5 music artists?
Yeah.
All right.
Who are some of the people you listen to before a game and stuff like that or whatever?
Yeah. I mean, some that I listen to the most, I'll put like Billy Joel up there. The Beatles, Queen, Chris Brown.
Okay, yeah.
Young Thug. Who else? Yeah, T-Pain. I got
Hey,
just a wide, just a wide range.
Want to call you a brother? My guy said Chris Brown. Okay, T-Pain. I did not. Okay,
Yeah.
I think you're the first person to ever say those names. Whenever I asked, yeah. Hey,
they got to get more recognition. Then you got to get some better people on the show.
Man, Chris Brown, man, he is one of the most talented humans to ever roam the planet, bro. He really is.
100%.
I don't know how he dances the way he dances like this. I'm just like, oh, this guy is.
Oh, if I tried that, I'm gonna end up in the ER.
Yeah, I'm like, does he have bones in his body? Like what? Nah, that's a great list. I love music just as much as sports, so I can't really name a top 5, but I can name some. Like I love Kanye, I love Drake, like Biggie, I love Bad Bunny. I love, bro, it's a lot, bro. The list goes on and on. Yeah, I could keep going for days, but we'd be here all day.
We'd be here for too long. We don't.
How would someone describe you?
Oof. Can I phone a friend? No. Let's see. I would say loyal. Loyal's got to be like the number one thing someone would say about me. You ask anyone who really knows me, like I don't stray away from what I know. Like no matter the circumstance, like I'll always be there on the side. Loyal, say charming, handsome. No,
I was gonna be like, oh yeah, definitely.
yeah, no, yeah. I'd say legitimately loyal, and then compassionate, emotional. I don't show it too much, but like when the people that know me know how emotional I get.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely those are three that would describe me pretty well, I would say.
Okay. What are your life goals?
Life goals, go pro. Obviously, that's the end goal with all the things that have accumulated in the last 13 years of my life playing soccer. It wouldn't I wouldn't see it as a failure, but would want nothing more than for all of that to lead me to a pro career. Um, you know, get married to my girlfriend, have a nice family, live in a nice house. Have kids, send them to a good school, and then kind of raise them a similar way that I've been raised. Give them the best life possible.
Yeah. Love that, man. Hey, you're gonna be an honorable father one day.
I hope so.
Love that. I want to be the same way. Hey, I want to be like Brady when I grow up. Who would you like to see on the show? But you have to help me get them on. I know you mentioned some players who went pro. Are
Yeah.
you talking
Oh,
about
I
pro
got
in MLS or Premier League or Champions? Which one?
yeah, one of my boys that I talk to all the time still. He knew Kelly Bow. He's playing now in, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the name. He's one of those smaller countries in Europe.
Oh,
He's playing first division there now. Um, they're a team that's competing for either a Champions League or Europa League spot. So
ooh,
they play some of the top teams in the world in Europe, and so yeah, he's definitely someone we'd have to try and get on.
yeah, you have to help me. You have to help me. Yeah,
Yeah, I'd have to help you big time with
yeah,
that one. He's a busy man.
yeah.
Uh, who else can I think of?
If you any sport, any sport.
Oh, any sport. Oh my gosh. Um, Mikey Kane. Luis might have mentioned him. Mikey Kane is a guy we went to high school with. Good friend. Plays. He played baseball at Oregon State. Got drafted by the Chicago White Sox
Ooh,
last year, I want to say.
oh,
So now he's in their
he's an
he's in
MLB
their farm system
farm
now.
system. Oh,
Yeah, but he's really good athlete,
yeah.
really great guy. Comes from a really good family, so he'd definitely be one you'd have to try and get on as
I
well.
haven't had a baseball player on yet, man. I've been trying.
He might have to be the first.
Yeah, hey, if you could help me, that would be great.
Yeah.
So, last question. I always have to close out with my guests. When people think of the name Brady McNulty, what do you want your legacy to be?
Uh, Outside of being a successful soccer player, um, more than anything, that they remember me as a good person. Uh, I try to be the best person as possible wherever I go, whoever I meet. Try to present my best self to everyone, and really put out what it is that I'm about. And so, yeah, good person. Hopefully, in the future, then good father, good family man. Those are because outside of sports, that's what you have in life. Just the person that you are,
Yeah.
the type of man you are with your family, and so when the when everything comes to a close with athletics, like that's what I have, and that's what I want to be known for.
Hey, well said. That's a great curtain call right there. That's a great curtain
Yeah,
call. Brady, this has been an honor, man. How did you feel, man? Felt great?
felt good. Yeah, felt real good. Blessed to have you bring me on and finally like get to really dive deep and talk about my life and my playing career. And not too many chances in life that you get. Not too many times you get the chance to do so. And so, like, yeah, I appreciate it greatly for you to have me on.
Yeah, thank you, man. It was an honor. Now it's an honor to have you a part of my pantheon now, among all the other
Yeah,
people.
it's an honor to be a part of it now.
Oh yeah.
You got a huge list of legends on there, so
Hey,
great to be up there now with them.
you're next to your boy Luis up there now too.
Yeah.
So
If make me a little taller in the picture though, just so I can get above
you
him.
can get above. Hey, I'll try, man. I'll try. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been another great interview here on DJ Sports with your host DJ Hamilton and my guy Brady McNulty. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Leave a like and subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.